Hello, hello, beautiful. How are you? Hopefully today you are having a great day. Um, yeah, today we will see how this goes. Right now we're having some internet problems, so hopefully we will have internet for this whole stream. If not, if I pop off, then on the YouTube channel, I'll try to pop on to another live through my cell phone, but we'll see how this goes. Anyway, I'm glad that you're here today. Today we are talking about why can't I just get my work done? What to do when it feels like you just can't get anything done. You're walking uphill through mud through your to-do list and you can't get yourself motivated or do the things that you need to do. And I believe I'm an expert on that because I have been there so many times. And I'll share a little bit of that with you as well as we go. Okay, so as you hop on, let me know who you are and where you're joining me from. I'm not going to say hi to everybody because I do have a lot of things I want to talk about and don't want to lose my internet while we're doing this. But I did want to say hi to people. Hi, Grandma C and Mary and everyone. Great. It's great to have everybody here. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. And that was me. Oh, sorry, Jana. I don't know why your link wasn't working, but it should be working fine now. I'm not sure what happened there, but I did start a few minutes late. So if you just got the wait screen, that might be why. All right. Like I said, today we are talking about how do you get the work done when you just can't get yourself motivated or you just don't have the willpower. You don't have the energy. You don't have the focus, the brain power. So there are a number of reasons why this could be happening. First off, it could be a medical condition or a mental condition going on. So if you do think that it's possible that it's a medical condition or a mental condition, consult a doctor or a professional, because I know personally, turns out I have, it's kind of a medical and mental condition, the ADHD. I have that, and I did not realize that I had ADHD until my early 40s. And then once we figured that out, that was such a light bulb moment, whether you do medication for it or you just use some of the tips and techniques on how to work with it instead of struggling against it. Consulting a doctor does not always mean medication. Sometimes it just means they can give you an idea of what will work better for you. So for me, ADHD was a huge aha moment, and that helped me figure out some better ways for myself to be able to get work done and focus. And also, I was recently diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which, if anybody has dealt with that, one of the things that can happen with it is massive brain fog. So I went through about a year and a half, and my members, my path members, all my pathfinders, you were there alongside me as I went through all the different things and got to that diagnosis over that year and a half. And yeah, the brain fog is real. Let me tell you. So it can be definitely a medical or mental condition, and it's worth talking to a doctor about if you've tried things and it's just not working for you. It could also be due to emotional situations. Sometimes we simply are going through something traumatic or something that is just consuming our energy and our focus, our thoughts. And when we are using so much willpower to deal with that, there's just not that much left. It's a limited resource. So there's just not that much willpower left in order to push yourself to do some of the harder things on your to-do list. So examine what's going on in your life, where your brain is at, what types of thoughts you're having, what types of situations are going on. And if it is limited willpower, then just pick and choose the times and the tasks that you can do and ask for help if you need it, because we all go through times where things are extra tough and we could use a little help. So welcome everybody who's hopped on. Welcome Sharon and Judy and everyone. Oh, Kathy, fibromyalgia sister. She says she's got fibromyalgia too. And so does Joyce. Yeah. Sometimes it, like everybody, as my fibro girls know, everybody is different with theirs. So hopefully, Joyce and Kathy, hopefully you've never dealt with the brain fog part. I definitely did. But yeah, it's different for everyone. So you may have, you may not have. But it's nice to know who else has that because it's still new to me. So any tips you have, I am all ears. Email me. I would love to hear because I am still learning. All right. So we already talked about the fact that it can be something medical or an emotional situation going on. So like Joyce says, I have it all the time with the brain fog. And Kathy says major brain fog. Okay. So I guess it's even more common than I don't know that much about it yet, but it's very common. And, brain fog happens not just with fibromyalgia, but also, widows. Widows go through a long period, a lot of times of brain fog. Brain fog comes with so many different situations and medical conditions. So, yeah. And at least once you have an answer, and you can try to start using some techniques to get past it. Hormones are another thing. You've heard me talk about hormones. And if you've not heard me go in depth about it before, with hormones, especially women, because we have a shorter hormone cycle. Actually, no, we've got a longer hormone cycle, but it does not all happen in the same day. Men have a very short hormone cycle where within 24 hours, they've gone through their cycle. We have, as we know, about 28 days. So hormones can absolutely affect some of your energy, your motivation, and during different times where your hormones are up or down in various ways. Sometimes you are going to be better at certain tasks. Sometimes you're going to be better at no tasks because it's your time to sit back, rest, reflect, analyze. So a lot of people also feel like the hormonal shifts also follow the moon phases. So if that's something that you wanted to check out, you can always check out my YouTube video about women's productivity cycles. And they go really in depth. And Mary Beth is here from Buffalo. She says, in the path of solar eclipse totality. Ooh, you're lucky. Awesome. So I wonder if the solar eclipse also affects it. But yeah, so sometimes you just have to wait it out. And you might just be in one of those hormone dips. And you might just be better at analytics or self-reflection for a little while, and then it'll come back. If it doesn't come back, though, if this becomes a constant problem, then there are some things that we can do to help it. So if you suffer from distractions a lot, which that's totally me, squirrel, right, with ADHD. But if you do get distracted a lot and that's what is making it more difficult for you to focus because of distractions, then there are some tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you in order to help you manage your distractions and manage your brain when there are distractions around a little bit. So with distractions, if you are getting distracted by things on the computer or on your phone, all those apps and notifications and things like that, first off, I'd say turn off notifications at least for the times that you want to be focused and work. So on the iPhone, and I believe on Android as well. I don't have an Android, so I can't be 100% sure. But on the iPhone, there are focus settings where you can set different types of focuses like sleep, work, and in that you can manage what types of notifications you get during those times. So if you create a work notification, then, a work focus, then when you have that on, it can help because then you will not be getting any of the notifications that would be distracting from your work. So use the focus settings on your phone, on the computer. Sometimes you have focus settings on the computer. I know with Mac you do, if you have a Mac, and various PCs have their own settings. So look at what settings are available to you to manage the notifications. Another thing that you can do, if just managing the notifications is not enough, which sometimes it's not, is there are apps and programs available to shut off or limit the amount of time you spend on certain apps or certain websites. So if, for example, you're getting distracted by Candy Crush or Facebook, then there are apps that you can install on your phone, on your computer. There are software programs for your computer, and some computer programs, like some software that comes with your computer or your phone, actually also has this built in. But you could say, don't allow Facebook to even show up on my phone from 9 to 5. Or I only want to spend 30 minutes a day on Facebook. So after, set the time for 30 minutes. And then once you spent 30 minutes during the day from Facebook, it limits you from accessing Facebook again that day. So there are apps and programs available that can either limit the amount of time or remove access during certain times. If it is something like your TV, or if just limiting certain programs is not working for you, then you can even do what I've done in the past, pardon me, which is in the past, I set up one of those smart switches. And you could use one of the ones that are the smart switches that are digital that you set up. You could also just use the old travel timers that you plug a lamp into or something for when you're traveling to turn the lamp on and off. It won't work on husbands. Linda, that's hilarious. She says husbands, and she says, what distracts squirrel? Shiny rock. So like me. But you can set those travel timers or smart devices to turn off the power to either your device or your internet if you need to during those times. So if you have a hard time getting to bed, you can set it to automatically turn off your Wi-Fi or your TV at 9 o'clock or whatever time you want to start getting ready for bed. And if you can make it really hard to keep it, like to get to it, to adjust it, that's why I use the smart device, because that way I had to try to remember, okay, well, which app was it that controls it? And it just seemed harder to try to keep it from turning off or turn it back on than it did to just go to bed. So you can absolutely make it hard for yourself to either use an extension cord with the travel timer under your couch or something, or make it hard for you to remember how to turn it back on. And that can really help too. So controlling the power to some of the sources of distraction can be helpful. And yeah, sadly, it won't work with husbands, but maybe you can get your husband to agree to certain focus times too. That's a little tougher. Oh, Melody says, fibromyalgia is often a large debilitating component of Lyme disease. It is. There's a number of different medical conditions, Lyme disease, lupus, things like that, that have a lot of the similarities, including the brain fog, as fibromyalgia. So that's one of those things that having a doctor help you can really help pinpoint and make sure that it's not something that you need to be taking care of because it could be doing harm to your body. So fibromyalgia generally does not do harm to your body, thankfully, but it sure does mess up your brain. It messes up your brain, messes up some of your productivity. It's, just not fun. But yeah, thank you, Melody. It's very true. All right. So we talked about medical conditions, mental conditions, emotional situations where your brain is just dealing with so much. My caregivers deal with this a lot too. The emotional situations, because you're just giving so much brain power to the things that absolutely have to be done because of whatever situation you're in, or the things that have to be processed, like widows a lot of time, even during the down times, you just might not have the brain power left. We talked about hormones, right? And you could track your menstrual cycle or the moon phases and see if you have a pattern there and just wait it out. And we talked about if it's distractions that are your problem and how to use apps and shut off power at certain times. Mary says, my husband knows if I'm online with Suzanna, stay away. I love it. Lovely Marie says, that's something I have TROUBLE, probably with a capital T, right? With is leaving the phone alone at bedtime because of sleep apnea. Yeah, right. And having those focus modes could really help sometimes. Yeah. So along with distractions, allowing yourself some distraction breaks can also help. Sometimes our brain just needs a little time to run around like a kitten on Red Bull, thinking about all the things and not being super productive in any one place, but just doing little bits of all the things. And that's okay. So sometimes you might just need to plan out some distraction breaks. If you're doing like we do in the group hikes for the membership, where we're doing the work sprints, then that's a perfect time to be able to, in between those sprints, do a quick distraction break. Give yourself 5 minutes to just do whatever your brain wants to do or think about or brainstorm or whatever it is. Let your brain just go wild before you have to sit and focus again. It's also helpful if you can work off some of your energy, because a lot of times actually when we have a lot of either anxious energy or pent up energy, even like the physical muscle energy, then our brain responds by going in kind of overdrive as well. So if you can wear your self out a little bit with some exercise, whether it is walk around, give the dog a walk around the block as many times as you can until you're nice and worn out, or doing an actual heavy cardio gym hour, however long it takes, that can be really helpful. Oh, Ellen says dog barking is distracting me. I'm assuming you mean my dog barking. I'm guessing that's it. Yes, the dog is a problem right now with the people here trying to work on the internet. I can't. I just can't. There's only so much willpower I have. So I am sorry about this, the dog. And she's all the way in the other room with the door closed too. She's loud. But yeah, so work off some of that energy, get your body tired, and that can calm your mind. And there's something amazing about when you do regularly just get your body moving. It does not have to be strenuous exercise, but getting your body moving will actually help calm your brain and reduce overwhelm, reduce anxiety and stress, especially for men, but still very much for women. So if you do find that you're having trouble getting motivated, sometimes just getting up and moving around in some way will help tremendously. It's very hard to get motivated while sitting on a very comfortable couch or laying in bed, right? So that's for distractions. My favorite thing though, once you've managed the distractions as much as you can, you've made sure that there's no medical, mental, emotional thing going on, or you've managed whatever you can with that. Some of my favorite things to do are to make it simple and get support. Because there is a point where we just need to adjust what we're doing, how we're doing it, and who we're doing it with. And it will make a massive difference. And I have really enjoyed testing that out. And, I've done the scientific research, but doing the actual physical research with our path members of seeing how much just mirroring and having an accountability buddy, somebody there with you while you work, not even telling you what to do or making you work, just somebody there in the room virtually. For the path members, it is amazing how much we get done in those group hike sessions. Just knowing that there's somebody there, even when we're watching the replay and we're not even doing it live with anybody. The ability to have somebody or a good resource to go to if you mentally aren't sure, you get stuck. Either you get stuck with motivation or you get stuck with needing to know an answer. Then with the path members, we've done office hours. We do those regularly. And that's a huge help, because then you know that even if you come across something that you're not sure what the next step is or the answer is, you don't have that block, because okay, well, at office hours, I'm going to ask. And if nobody knows, if Suzanna doesn't know, if there's nobody else on there that knows, I will at least get a good direction to head. I will at least get a next step on where to research it. There are just so many different things that you can do in order to get that support that you need. And I do know that it works simply because that's what we do in the path. And I love hearing every group hike, right? My path members know this, right? Let me know if you remember this one, if you hear this one. But every group hike, I hear how amazing it was, how much they loved the hike, how much they get done, how time just flew by, how they, didn't think that they could tackle such and such, but they were able to. So having that support system and just having somebody else in the room, whether it's virtually or physically, live or on a replay, it absolutely will help with motivation as well as focus. So mirroring and accountability buddies, we do that in the group hike. That's huge. Music, using timers, setting a recurring environment. Those are other aspects that I built into the group hike. These are all scientifically proven ways to be more productive without having to force yourself to have reminders and habits and a strict schedule. But all of these are scientifically proven. So that's why they're built into the Path membership. So you can be more productive, get your to-do list done, whether it's papers or not, right? But some of the other things that we use music. Now, the nice thing with music is, it makes things, nice and more fun and just gives you a little bit of soothing of anxiety. The right music does. But also it helps with setting the environment. If you set a recurring environment where when you do these actions, your brain knows, oh, okay, so we're getting into this mode. We use it a lot with people who have trouble sleeping. If you've had trouble sleeping, then you've probably heard some of the advice of, well, have a consistent bedtime. And before bed, do your bedtime routine in the same way each night. Maybe add in something like drink some chamomile tea. Not only is it calming, but then your brain goes, oh, it must be almost bedtime because we're drinking the tea. That's one of those things where if you drink chamomile tea in the morning and you're used to that at night, then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I could really use a nap. But the same thing in the group hike. So we set the same recurring environment by having the same music. There's 2 playlists that I go back and forth between. They're a little similar though. So you hear the same songs. There are a bunch of songs, so it does not get too repetitive, but you hear the same songs. You see some of the same people each time that you go to the group hike, and you've got the video screen with you, whether you've got your video on or not. You can do it without your video on, and just see the other people there if you need to. But the fact that you have the same people, same music, the same structure around you, your brain then gets used to, okay, well, when I hear this music, I'm more focused because that's my focus time. So I hear so many times from Path members that, they were having a hard time focusing. They just put on the playlist. It's on a Spotify playlist that I share with you. So you can use it any time, but they put on that Spotify playlist when it's not even a hike. They're on their own and suddenly their brains are more focused. Setting that recurring environment. Your brain knows I focus when these things happen. And setting timers. We use a timer in the group hike. Timers really help your brain to know, okay, I won't be miserable forever if I hate this task. It's only 20 minutes. They also help you get more done in a smaller amount of time because you feel like you need to finish within that timer, finish whatever chunk you've decided. So you stay focused because you've got a goal, right? So there's a number of ways to use music, timers, and setting that recurring environment that your brain gets used to and then expects. And they can all help you just amazingly. I did not even expect it to work as well as it does. I believe the science, but I was like, it can't work that well. It does. So like I said, in the paper path course, we have the breaking it down into small steps, making it simple, and having the course with you is a recurring environment because you get used to, okay, well, the steps are broken down like this. I've got my videos, I've got my process. The Path membership is what truly helps with the whole to-do list and getting through the course, even if you're having troubles getting focused or started, because it gives you those accountability buddies and mirroring people. It gives you the repeating environment. It gives you the music. It gives you the timers. It gives you the person and people to ask questions to if you ever get stuck. It gives you a chance to plan out your week. So many things that we do. So getting that support is huge. Another thing that you could do for support is actually the next step that I'm going to tell you about, making it simple. Because I said the two other ways, once you've managed your distractions and anything medical, getting support and making it simple. Well, part of the support is making it simple. So find a way to simplify what you're trying to do. If you've got a large project, sometimes we can get lost in how much there is to do or what to do next. If you've ever looked at your to-do list or looked around your home or your home office and gone, I don't even know where to start, whether it's organizing papers, to-do lists in general, but if you're like, I just don't even know where to start, that's when simplifying can really help. All right. So we simplify in a number of different ways. First off, we simplify by doing small work sprints instead of huge, massive, long projects. It's so much harder to find a day where you have 3 hours that you can work on something than it is to find 15 minutes in a day, right? It's also a lot easier to get your brain on board with 15 minutes of sorting papers than 3 hours of it, right? So breaking things down in those small work sprints, that's a great way to simplify a process, no matter what the process is, but it works amazingly well with either large projects or when your list just seems too big and overwhelming. So the small work sprints, that's the group hikes, do that, but also things like the Paper Path course absolutely does that. That's why it's called the Paper Path. It's one small step at a time along the path that's laid out for you. Before I go on to the rest, I wanted to pop over to the chat really quickly. Let's see. Oh, Jana, she says the chats and videos help with isolation paralysis. Sometimes just being alone. Yes, being alone is one of those environments that can sometimes be a lot harder. But if you have people that you feel like are in the room with you, then it can really help. Yeah. And I love having Jana in our group hikes and all of our path events. Hey, Nancy, good to see you. Lovely Marie says, I love the group hikes for you. Make it so fun, so much fun. And it doesn't seem as hard, even though we make it harder than it really is, but getting so much done. Wish there were more. Oh, that's great. Yay. Crystal's new to the Path membership and the Paper Path course. And she's been rocking both. It's been really cool to watch. I love it. She's just taking it by storm. Judy says the hikes are great. Yay. Lori says I always get lots done during the group hike. Love the music and seeing the friends I've made on it. Yeah, and it's nice. You do get to see the same people over and over a lot of times. We get to see some new people who, like Crystal, join us sometimes, and they're just new members, and then you start to see them all the time. Or sometimes some members that can only pop in once in a while, but a lot of times they're using other benefits from the membership or watching replays. But every once in a while we see them live. But then you have also the same core people, which is really helpful. I love that. I just wanted to share the link actually really quickly to the Paper Path course. Let me type because I can't talk and type. Okay, so this link that I'm posting right now is the page about the Paper Path course. And right now, if you're not already a Path member, then when you grab the Paper Path course until tonight, the end of the night tonight, Thursday, then you will not only get a welcome party bonus, which is like a fast start. It kind of just helps you get off on the right foot, but also you have the option to add on 1 free month of the Path membership. So you could try it out. And with the Paper Path course, you have 7 days to get a full refund. If it's not for you, if you decide within 7 days that, you know what, it's just not, I'm not feeling it, that's fine. If you email me, full refund. So no risk to try it out. I should probably write what that link is. There, that way I added what the link is to, if somebody hops on, they know. So yeah, that's a great way to try out the Path membership and grab the paper path course that's already broken out. And then you can organize all of your papers in one simple way. Denise, I'm here, just having trouble focusing. I love it. I love it. Lovely Marie, so glad I'm a Pathfinder member. Wish I had found it sooner. Love what you're doing, Suzanna. Oh, thank you. Lori says, our Monday planning sessions help me plan my days. Yes, that's a new Path membership too, or Path member bonus too. Jenna says, I updated my credit card info. Thanks for the reminder. You're welcome. And yes, Linda just asked, is it possible to do the $25 a month for the Path membership without the $250 program, which is the Paper Path course? Absolutely. If you go to SuzannaKaye.com, it's .com, not .live for the store, but if you go to SuzannaKaye.com and click on shop, then you can do the Path membership. You don't get the free month, but you can absolutely join the Path membership without buying the course, and you can cancel the membership anytime also. So if you try it out for a month and you're like, not my thing, cancel it, just shoot me an email and it's super easy. But I'd love to have you join us and try it out and see if it helps you, because I know that it helps so many. So awesome. Great questions. Oh, and the Paper Path course, the price will be going up very soon as well. So if you're considering it, this is also a great time to do that, but I just wanted to let you know. Okay. So making it simple, we talked about small work sprints, like in the Path membership that Linda was asking about. Small work sprints, which we do in our group hikes, and also in the course, things are broken down into one small step at a time. And we talked about how the Paper Path course is set up to help you simplify things. So another way that it's set up that way is the steps are broken down into these micro steps, right? So like 15 minutes or less for most of those steps that are in the course, and they're all laid out in a path. So that way it takes something that's normally just an overwhelming, complex project, right? Set up an organization system for all the papers in your home. How complex and dreadful does that sound? I know even I think that sounds awful. So if you have something that feels dreadful and big and overwhelming, like organizing all the papers in your house and getting them into a brand new system, when you break it down into these tiny, like micro steps, like 15 minutes or less, and you put them in order. And it's hard to do this yourself a lot of times when you're already in the overwhelm. So you might need a friend to help, or find some resource like the Paper Path course, the Spark Life binder. We do that with the worksheets, right? And the caregiver binder. If you've not seen any of the products that I sell, then maybe you've seen it with the emergency medical folder, where those worksheets break it down into, okay, just fill in one blank at a time. And that way, sorry, I'm just deleting spam. But that way, it's so easy for you to just follow a path, put on your blinders, like I say, and follow the path. Don't worry about any of the other steps. Don't worry about anything else. Just, okay, what is my next step? Lori says, if you are not a Path member, join. So many benefits and helpful tips I've learned during them. Oh, I love that. Yes, we have so much fun. Oh, and Linda says, thank you. I'll probably eventually join the Paper Path course too. That's fantastic. Yeah. Whenever it works for you, that's one of the things where if you're feeling drawn to it, if your gut is kind of like, oh, that sounds like something I need, then it's great. If your gut is saying, you know what, it's not for me right now, that does not mean never. So it might not be the right fit for you right now. So you can always skip the course, just do the membership at the store, or maybe just stick with what's already out there, which is just the Thursday talks. Whatever you need to do for you. I love that. Okay, so along with simplifying, we talked about small work sprints, so small amounts of time, breaking the steps down into little micro steps, no big steps, just, okay, do this one little thing, one at a time, in order. Brain dump and refocus. So we were just talking about this actually in the Path membership recently. I think it might have been office hours, but we were just talking about when everything feels so overwhelming, you don't even know where to start, and it becomes really stressful, right? So if you can just sometimes brain dump all the things that you need to do, just write it all down. No order to it, just write it all down. Then get it out of your head. That helps for one. Like we do in the B5 method. If you don't remember that one, check out on YouTube the B5 method video. So write it all down, get it out of your head, and then refocus. Okay, like we do in our week planning sessions with the members every Monday. What is the most important goal for me to focus on this week? Whether it's big or small, what is the most important goal for me to focus on this week? And sometimes you have to hash it out with somebody, go back and forth like in office hours. We do that sometimes and talk it out and figure out, okay, that's where the clog is in the pipes. But once you can brain dump and refocus, then the overwhelm can go away because you can trust that that brain dump has everything that you might forget. You don't have to worry about your brain holding on to it. And then you can focus on one thing at a time because you're only human. So being overwhelmed and doing nothing is making it all worse. You might as well just keep doing whatever you can, one thing at a time. And if you don't get it all done, you were not going to get it all done anyways. So focus on whatever is the most important first. And that's why in the week planning sessions, every Monday we do, what is your focus for the week? And then simplify your systems. Take your decisions out of it. Make it so ridiculously easy to use that it requires such little thought. And that's what we do a lot with the paper path system. That's the system that you build in the paper path course. That's the one that I talk about all the time. All of what I do is around the paper path system, right? So we've got the Spark Life Finder, takes your brain out of the system because you're just answering the questions on the worksheets in order to organize all of your most important life information in a quick grab binder. We talk about that in the paper path course. I create systems like the action file, the self-purging files, the monthly files, your archive files, and we do it in a way that it takes your brain out of the system. So you don't have to think hard and make those decisions over and over and over again, which are no fun with papers. So the more you can simplify the systems themselves, so you can take the decisions out, you can make the thought process super easy, then the easier it's going to be to get yourself motivated, because now your brain does not think of it as hard anymore. It's just, you just do it, right? So simplifying those systems is huge. All right, so we talked about making it simple, small work sprints, so small bites of time like we do in the group hikes, steps broken down into micro steps, super small steps, and then laying them out one at a time in a path like we do in the paper path course. Or another example would be the small step declutter cards. If you've done the declutter challenge or any of the challenges, it's similar to like that. Small step cards, just one super quick declutter item. So those are micro steps and they're kind of laid out for you. Worksheets and checklists. I forgot to mention that one. So worksheets and checklists are another way to take your brain out of the system. So in the Spark Life Binder, you've got the fill in the blank worksheets, or in the emergency medical folder, the fill in the blank worksheets, you're just answering the questions. And in like the paper path course, we have a bunch of checklists to help you out. We have worksheets like the paper policy. So you never have to worry about forgetting where you decided to file a paper, how long you decided to keep it for. So having all of those extra tools take your brain out of the system. Brain dump and refocus, that's putting those blinders on to focus, right? Brain dump from the B5 method. That's also blinders and brain dump. Refocusing, week planning sessions, we talk about what is your focus for the week. So knowing what's most important for you to focus on that week is really helpful. And that takes the overwhelm out when you've got your to-do list is too big. And simplifying your systems. Take the decisions away, only make your decisions once. Why are you making the same decision more than one time, right? Decide it once, record it. Like in the paper path course, we talk about record your decisions. So you never have to make that decision again. and you can be consistent and you can let it go. You don't have to make that decision ever again. It makes papers so much easier. And then we talked about getting support, mirroring and accountability buddies. In the chat, actually, Joanna just says, I live alone, so the group hikes give me the motivation to do something. Yes, if you live alone, then the Path membership is so helpful because just having that community live with you that y'all become your friends. It's so motivating. So I love that, Joanna. That's wonderful. Yeah, Lori says, brain dumps have been my savior many times, right? Denise says, how many group hikes per month are in the group? So the group has a minimum of 4 per month, sometimes more. We do it, they just changed in April. It's every other Monday after our week planning session and every other Saturday. So how it lines up, sometimes you have more than 4, sometimes you just have 4. If there's a Saturday or a Monday I have to miss, then I do a makeup. Sometimes I'll throw in an evening one for an hour. But yeah, a decent amount. And then you also have your office hours, which are on the other Mondays that we don't do the group hikes. And those, a lot of times people will hop on those and use them like the group hikes. So you get a lot of work done. And then we've got the week planning sessions where we hop on for 30 minutes every Monday in the mid-afternoon, early afternoon, depends on where you live. And we plan out our week together. And I guide you through the planning of your week. So those are some of the work types of sessions that we do. And if you add all of those up, then it would be at least 4, 6, 10, at least 10 live sessions. Oh, wait, no, plus we've got our Thursday check-ins that you could do as well. So you could do at least 14, often more, live sessions a month. And you don't have to do all of them. That's the nice thing. Don't do all 14 if you don't have time to do it. Pick and choose what you like, what works best for you. Watch replays if you have to miss it live, or just skip it. It's all okay. Janice says the declutter prompts are like a mini anti-treasure hunt. I like that, the anti-treasure hunt. She's talking about the small step cards. We do those as the Path members too. Whenever we do a group hike, we do small step card together. And they're kind of like an anti-treasure hunt. What can you find to get rid of, not to keep? Lovely Marie says, I totally agree, Joanna. And on Facebook, I love your cards. A lifesaver for me. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome. The cards are fun. I love those cards. So we talked about getting support, the mirroring and accountability buddies. As you can see, my Path members, they're so awesome. And they're all friends with each other because they just see each other in the group so often and you connect. So that's why they're all chatting in the group and everything. It's great. Music, timers, and setting a recurring environment. So having the same music on whenever you're focused means that when you're not so focused, if you put that same music on, like in the hikes, then it really helps you focus. So Path members, if you're ever trying to get focused, then put on the hike playlist and it will really help. Using timers and setting that recurring environment, making the surroundings, the music, the smells, the seat, whatever it is that you can, the same during focus sessions will help you focus. And the ways that you can get help with these things, like we mentioned, Path membership. You can join the Path membership, $25 a month right now. The price will be going up eventually, but right now, $25 a month. Go to SuzannaKaye.com, click on the shop. You can join anytime, cancel anytime. And Paper Path course. So if you want to organize all of your papers on your own schedule with the course, you get to go through it at your own pace, but with the support of the videos and the small steps, all broken down one piece at a time, making it easy. Then the Paper Path course is great for simplifying things and removing those distractions. And with the Paper Path course, because having that extra support is so helpful, one of the bonuses that is available right now, remember the welcome party bonus goes away tonight, but the other bonus that is available right now is 1 free month of the Path membership if you're not already a Path member. So you can try it risk-free. And idea sessions with me. That's something that I rarely talk about because I only have a few spots available each month. So I don't promote it too much because it can get really full really fast. But if you do feel like you're just stuck, if you just want ideas for your space, how do I organize this area? how can I add more space to my closet or my home? We can do a walkthrough of your home, which I do. Those are some of my favorite idea sessions, the walkthrough of the home, and then giving you a bunch of ideas of ways to maximize your space or organize something better or make it more efficient. Then an idea session, a virtual session with me. Always love, love, love to do one-on-one work with you. So you can go to the store at SuzannaKaye.com and learn about that. Like I said, just limited number of available spots each month. So I don't talk about that often, but if you find that you're just still stuck and you just can't seem to be getting it, then that's an option also. So lovely Marie, what time would you recommend? I can't remember the one you shared a while back. Are you talking about timer? Timer, yeah. There we go. So there are 2 timers that I use often, and one is the cube timer. I'm actually about to do an Amazon live and idea list with all of these, so you'll have to check out my Amazon storefront as well. I'll have to post the link in the Facebook group and on YouTube very soon. But one that I have that's just a quick timer is a cube timer, where you just put it up with whatever time you want facing up, and it'll start the timer for you and beep when it goes off. These are really good if you need those distraction timeouts or want to do work sprints, because you've got your 15 minutes, your 20 minutes, all the good stuff. The digital one, they do have a physical timer for it as well. It's called Time Timer. So time, T-I-M-E, timer, T-I-M-E-R. And I've been using that one like forever. And I love it because it shows you how much time is left as it goes around. So you can get a visual of how much time is left, and you can set any time with that one. So that one, they have an app, they have a physical timer. You can search it on Amazon. You can search it in the App Store. But those are the 2 that I love. Great question. And yeah, and watch for on YouTube and on the Facebook group. I will try to share my main page on Amazon with you there soon. So that way you can see like my different idea lists of the things that I love. But there you go. So hopefully you found that helpful. Here we go. Hold on, let me type. There, okay. So the Paper Path course, just a reminder, tonight the bonus goes away. And also right now, when you grab the Paper Path course, which the price will be going up very soon as well, the Path membership, if you're not already a member, you can get 1 free month. So it is just great. If you're not sure if it's for you, try it out. You have a seven days to decide for sure about the Paper Path course and get a full refund if it's not for you. And you have a full month to try out the Path membership. And if it's not for you, just let me know and you won't ever get charged again for it. Oh, good. Mary says that she loves the cube timer. Yeah, these are so simple to just use. I love it. Joanna says, I've never seen the cube timer. That looks cool. Yeah, I'll post the link on both YouTube, which means if you're subscribed, make sure to subscribe on YouTube to my channel, because if you are subscribed, then you'll get the notification whenever I post about something, as well as when I'm going on live video. So I'll post on YouTube and I'll post in the Facebook group with my list on Amazon that has like the kitchen timers and all that stuff. Oh, Lori says I use an OXO kitchen timer. Yeah, I have a kitchen timer that I used forever and I still have it, but they don't sell it anymore. So I'm like, like I would love to recommend this to people, but they stopped selling that one. So yeah, I would love to see. You should post that in the group. Post your kitchen timer, what type it is, because I'm always looking for good stuff that are really helpful to people, because I want something that does not tick so nobody loses their mind. Well, I love you so much. I'm glad that you could join me today. You're doing absolutely amazing. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you soon. Path members, remember, in about 4 minutes, we will be doing our Thursday check-in. And everyone else, check out the Paper Path course. If you click on the link, you can learn more about the course and the bonuses and all that good stuff. And I hope you join me there. It's really a fun time. I love you. Bye.